Hello all, good morning. Yes, so today we are going to see reading comprehension. We are going to solve some passages. So before starting, let me introduce myself. I am Reeba. I'm working as an English trainer for the last 4 years. I'm a literature graduate. Currently, I'm doing my MBA. That's all about me. And let's see what are the benefits of Plus and Iconic subscription. Okay, so in Plus subscription, all the classes will be live classes and we will have weekly test. Every week we'll have weekly test, and based on this weekly test, those your weekly tests will be analyzed by top exam experts, and based on those analysis, of course, they will give you necessary guidance. Okay, and there will be study plans, customized study plans, and study materials will be provided to you. And you can see different plans for plus and iconic subscriptions. For plus subscription, there are different plans. For 1 month, starting from 1 month up to 2 years plans are there. You can see the rates here. And see, if you apply my coupon code, this is my coupon code REBA10, RWBA10. REBA10 is my coupon code. See, this is my coupon code REBA10. So if you apply this coupon code, you will get 10% discount. Okay, discount will be given. Yes, so yes, of course, you will get 10% discount. And you can see different plans. So iconic subscription too. For iconic subscription also, there are different plans. 6 months, 12 months, and 24 months. And those are the rates. And here also, you can apply my coupon code. This is my coupon code, REBA10, RWBA10. So if you apply this coupon code, you will get 10% discount. Okay. And yes, so let's see iconic features. What are iconic features? Iconic features means priority. Priority in model cases, priority in doubt solving, of course, priority in, yes, live classes too. So you can see there are two subscriptions, plus and iconic. If you want priority, go for iconic subscription. If you don't want priority, then choose plus subscription. Okay, so before purchasing any plans, do play my coupon code RWBA10 REBA10 for discount. You'll get 10% discount by applying my coupon code. Okay, so that's it. Let's start our session. So today we are going to discuss today we are going to solve two passages. And this is the first passage. This is our first passage. Say yes, this is our first passage, first paragraph, second paragraph, and third paragraph. Three paragraphs are there, and 8 questions for the first passage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 questions, and this is our second passage, first paragraph of second paragraph, third paragraph. So three paragraphs are there. And the first question, second, third, fourth, five, and six questions for the second passage too. So anyway, let's start our session. So in this session also we are going to read our passage first. Then we are going to read questions. Okay. So read the passage, read the first paragraph clearly. Okay. Just read the first paragraph. Okay. Your time starts now. We can take about this time. Okay. Yes. 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 Just read the passage. While reading, don't skip any words. You have to read the passage completely. Okay. And this is a small passage, and both passages are very easy. So try. No, just try. You have to. You can't skip even one word. You have to read completely. Okay. Yes. Read the passage. Just read the passage. Okay, first paragraph. Yes. Okay. Just wait, let's read together. Japanese firms have achieved the highest levels of manufacturing efficiency in the world automobile industry. Some observers of Japan have assumed that Japanese firms use the same manufacturing equipment and techniques as United States firms but have benefited from the unique characteristics of Japanese employees and the Japanese culture. However, if this were true, then one would expect Japanese auto plants in the United States to perform no better, yes, no better than factories run by United States companies. This is not the case. Japanese run automobile plants located in the United States and staffed by local workers have demonstrated, yes, higher levels of productivity when compared with factories owned by United States companies. Okay, then read the second passage. Sorry, second paragraph of the first passage. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Read the second paragraph. Yes. Just read the second paragraph. Don't skip any words. It's very easy. This whole passage is very easy passage. Yes. 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 Okay. Yes, just read the paragraph. Very easy passage. Yes, it's very easy paragraph. Yes, just read. So, have you completed reading? Other observers link high Japanese productivity to higher levels of capital investment per worker, but a historical perspective leads to a different conclusion. When the two top Japanese automobile makers mashed and then doubled, yes, smashed and then doubled United States productivity levels in the mid 60s. Capital investment, yes, capital investments, yes, yes, capital investment per employee, yes, per employee was comparable to that of United States firms. Furthermore, by the late 70s, the amount of fixed assets required to produce one vehicle was roughly equivalent in Japan and the United States. Okay, yes. So read the last paragraph. It's a little big compared to the previous ones. Okay. Yes. 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 Okay. Just read. Yes. Just read the passage. Yes. Yes. Okay. Just read it completely. Yes, just read the whole passage. Yes. Actually, this is a little lengthier passage as compared to the paragraph as compared to the previous paragraphs. But don't skip even one word. Okay, you have to read whole passage completely. Okay. Once you just finished reading, we can discuss it. Okay. Yes, please read. Yes, okay. Yes. Yes. Have you completed reading? Yes. Just read the passage. It's the final paragraph. It's very easy and very important. Yes. Okay. Okay. So have you completed? Okay. Since capital investment was not higher in Japan, it had to be. Yes. Okay. Yes. Let me read from the beginning. Okay, fine. Okay. Since capital investment was not higher in Japan, it had to be other factors that led to higher productivity. A more fruitful explanation may lie with Japanese production techniques. Japanese automobile producers did not simply implement conventional processes more effectively. They made critical changes in United States procedures. For instance, the mass production philosophy of United States automakers encouraged the production of huge loads of cars in order to utilize fully expensive component-specific equipment and to occupy fully workers who have been trained to execute one operation efficiently. Japanese automakers chose to make small lot production feasible by introducing several departures from United States practices, including the use of flexible equipment that could be altered easily to do several different production tasks, and the training of workers in multiple jobs. Automakers could schedule the production of different components or models on single machines, thereby eliminating the need to store the buffer stocks of extra components that result when specialized equipment and workers are kept constantly active. Okay, so we just completed reading the passage. Let's move on to the questions. Let's see the questions. The primary purpose of the passage is to dash. What are the primary purpose? Okay, just read the options, given options. Yes. Yes. Second question. The author suggests that if the observers of Japan mentioned in line 3 were correct, which of the following would be the case? Just read the options. Yes. Yes. And the third question. Which of the following statements concerning the productivity levels of automakers? Yes. Automakers can be inferred from the passage. Read the paragraphs, sorry, options. Yes. 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 And the next question. According to the passage, which of the following statements is true to Japanese automobile workers? Just read the passage. Sorry, options. Different options. Yes. Yes. Fifth one. Which of the following best describes the organization of the first paragraph? Just read the options. Yes. Five options are given. Yes. Yes. And sixth one, it can be inferred from the passage that one problem associated with the production of huge loads of cars is which of the following? Yes. Just read the options. Yes. Five options are there. Have you read the options? The next one. Which of the following statements is supported by information stated in the passage? Again, five options. Just read the five options. Five options are there. Please read the five options. Which of the following statements is supported by information stated in the passage? Yes. Okay. And the last one, with which of the following predictive statement regarding Japanese automakers would the author most likely agree? Yes. Yes. Okay. So, yes, we just completed reading the whole questions and passage. Now, let's see. Yes, let's see. Yes, okay. Okay, let's see the questions again, the passage in detail. So, yes, okay, let's see. This is the passage. So, let's see the passage in detail. Okay, yes, okay. Japanese firms have achieved the highest levels of manufacturing efficiency in the world automobile industry. Okay, so here in this, yes, in this passage, the author is saying, yes, Nandu, yes, Nandu darling, good morning. Good morning, hello. I just saw your message. Okay, fine. So here in this passage, the author is saying that Japanese firms have achieved the highest levels of manufacturing efficiency in the world automobile industry. That means in the world of automobile industry, Japanese firms achieved highest, yes, efficiency. Okay, highest efficiency. And what's the reason behind this? Yes, so there are some observations. The author is giving some observations by certain or some assumptions. Okay, some assumptions. Okay, some observers of Japan, some observers from Japan research has assumed that Japanese firms use the same manufacturing equipment and techniques as United States, but have benefited from the unique characteristics of Japanese employees and the Japanese culture. So first, this is the first assumption. Okay, see, this is the first assumption on the high efficiency level of Japanese firms in the automobile industry. Okay, so this is the first assumption. Okay, first observation, first assumptions made by some as observers of Japan itself. Okay, and see, they are saying that the Japanese firms are using the same manufacturing equipment and techniques that is used by United States firms. Okay, that's an observation. And with that, they are adding that, but those Japanese firms are benefited from the unique characteristics of Japanese employees and Japanese culture. They are following this. Observers are saying that Japanese firms are just following the United States firms, technologies, and all, but they are blessed with, the Japanese firms are blessed with unique characteristics of Japanese employees and, yes, of course, Japanese culture too. Okay, so yes, however, if this were true, okay, we don't know, that's just an assumption and this is a point. However, if this were true, then one would expect Japanese auto plants in the United States to perform no better than factories run by United States companies. Yes, that's the point. So, this is not the case. So, the first assumption is not correct. Japanese-run automobile plants located in the United States and staffed by local workers have demonstrated higher levels of productivity when compared with factories owned by United States companies. United States companies. What's the meaning? That means there are some Japanese run automobile plants. There are some automobile plants in United States that is owned by Japanese companies. Okay, Japanese companies, and but they just staffed. They're staffed. They just staffed by local workers. Local workers means just people in United States itself. Okay, so, and have demonstrated higher levels of productivity when compared with factories owned by United States companies. So, the same Japanese factories run in United States are showing higher levels of productivity while compared with their own companies. Okay, that's all about the first passage, and we just see one observation, and other observation is mentioned here. Other observers link high Japanese productivity to higher levels of capital investment per worker. And this is the second observation. They are saying that the workers have high level of capital investment, and that is why Japanese are getting higher productivity. Their productivity rate is also increasing. Okay, but a historical perspective leads to a different conclusion. When the two Japanese automobile makers mashed and then doubled. Okay, so that's a yes, other observers, that's another observation. And but a historical, now saying about a historical perspective. Okay, again, two observations and a historical observation leads to a different conclusion. Okay, it's not about capital investment, leading to a different conclusion. When the two top Japanese automobile makers matched and then doubled. See, when the two top Japanese automobile makers are mingling or linking and then doubled United States productivity levels in the mid 60s. It was in 60s, in mid 60s. The capital investment per employee was comparable that of United States firms. Okay, furthermore, by the late 70s also the amount of okay, I guess it's okay. There was some actually I was facing some network issues. Okay, I think it's okay now. Okay, fine. It's okay. So, yes. And just saying that, yes, late 70s, the amount of fixed, okay, to buy or to produce one vehicle, we need some fixed assets. Okay, and that assets was roughly equivalent in Japan and in the United States. It was in late 70s. Okay. And here, since capital investment was not higher in Japan, saying that capital investment is not higher in Japan, it had to be other factors that led to higher productivity. This was an observation actually that okay, uh, there's some network issues. I think it's okay now. Okay, fine. Let's see. So since capital investment, so here saying that capital investment is not, yes, capital investment was not higher in Japan. Okay, saying that capital investment was not higher in Japan, and it had to be other factors that led to higher productivity, and we have to find that other factors. Okay, a more fruitful explanation may lie with Japanese production techniques. High productivity, yes, a more fruitful, more acceptable explanation may lie with Japanese production techniques. Now let's see Japanese production techniques. Japanese automobile producers did not simply implement conventional processor more effectively. They made critical changes in United States procedures. Okay, and at first they are saying that they're just copying. First observation was they're just copying, or those techniques, Japanese techniques, was similar with United States. Okay, that was first observation. But the Japanese automobile producers did not simply copying it. They are not simply copying the same techniques, but they are making necessary changes. They are making very important changes and in United States procedures. Then only they are implementing the procedure. Okay. For instance, the mass production philosophy of United States automakers encourage the production of huge lots of cars in order to utilize fully expensive, compound-specific equipment and to occupy fully workers who have been trained to execute one operation efficiently. Okay, and Japanese automakers choose to make a small lot production feasible by introducing several departures from United States practices, including the use of flexible equipment that could be altered easily to do several different production tasks and the training of workers in multiple jobs. Okay, yes. So, they get training, production task and the training of workers in multiple jobs. Okay, they get training multiple jobs. Okay, yes. Okay, and moving to the last. Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes. Automakers could schedule the production of different components or models on single machines, thereby eliminating the need to store the buffer stocks of extra components that result when specialized equipment and workers are kept constantly active. Okay. Yes. So just completed the passage. We can now solve the questions. The first one, the primary purpose of the first passage is to dash. So find what is the primary purpose. Yes. Yes. What is the primary purpose? Yes. Primary purpose of the passage. Okay. Yes. Yes. What is the purpose? Yes. Okay. Okay. So the primary purpose of the passage is to dash. What's the primary purpose? It is to correct misconception. Okay, because there are many misconceptions about Japanese productivity rate. We just seen we just saw many assumptions. Okay, so the primary purpose is to guess what's the primary purpose? Yes, what's the primary purpose? Primary purpose is to correct all those misconceptions. Okay, all those, we have to correct all those assumptions. So the primary purpose of the passage is to correct misconception. Okay, yes. Second one, the author suggests that if the observers of Japan mentioned in line 3 were correct, which of the following would be the case? The equipment used, yes, the equipment used in Japanese automobile plants would be different from the equipment used in the United States plant. Japanese workers would be trained to do several different production jobs. Culture would not have an influence on the productivity levels of the workers. The workers in Japanese run plants would have higher productivity levels regardless of where they were located. The production levels of Japanese run plants located in the United States would be equal to those of plants run by United States companies. So, guess what will be the answer? So, go for the line 3. Yes, observers of Japan mentioned in line 3. Yes, means the first observation, some observation. This is the first observation. Some observers of Japan have assumed that. Yes. So, what was the answer? Oh, sorry, what is the answer? Yes. Yes, so what will be the answer? Yes, let's see. What's the answer? The production levels of Japanese run plants located in the United States would be equal to those of plants run by United States companies. That's the answer. Option A is the correct answer. Third one. Which of the following statements concerning the productivity levels of automakers can be inferred from the passage? Yes, which of the following statements concerning the productivity levels of automakers can be inferred from the passage? Yes, which? Yes. What's answer? It is. Let's read. Prior to the 1960s, the productivity levels of the top Japanese automakers again were exceeded by those of United States automakers. The culture of a colony has a large effect on the productivity levels of its automakers. During the late 1970s and early 1980s, productivity levels were comparable in Japan and the United States. The greater the number of cars that are produced in a single lot, the higher a plant's productivity level. The amount of capital investment made by automobile manufacturers in their factories determines the level of productivity. So what's the answer? It's option A is the correct answer. Option A. Okay. Yes, option A is the correct answer. Next one. According to the passage, yes, according to the passage, which of the following statements is true of Japanese automobile workers? Yes. Okay. Read the options. Their productivity levels did not equal those of United States automobile workers until the late 70s. Their high efficiency levels are a direct result of cultural influences. They operate component-specific machinery. They are trained to do more than one job. They produce larger lots of cars than do workers in United States factories. What's the answer? Yes, what's the answer? It's very easy. Yes, what's the answer? It is option B is the correct answer. They are trained to do more than one job. See, workers in multiple job, training of workers in multiple job. which means they are, of course, trained to do multiple jobs. Okay, next one is which of the following, yes, which of the following best describes the organization of the first paragraph? A thesis is presented and supporting examples are provided. Opposing views are presented, classified, and then reconciled. A fact is stated and an explanation is advanced and then refuted. A theory is proposed, considered, and then amended. An opinion is presented, qualified, and then reaffirmed. What's the answer? Yes. What's the answer? What's the answer? It is option, which is the answer. Option C, a fact is stated and an explanation is advanced and then refuted. And sixth one. See the sixth one? Yes. Okay. It can be inferred from the passage that one problem associated with the production of huge loads of cars is which of the following? Sixth one. What's the answer? Which of the following? Yes. See, the need to manufacture flexible machinery and equipment, the need to store extra components not required for immediate use, the need for expensive training programs for workers which emphasize the development of facility in several production jobs, the need to alter conventional mass production process, the need to increase the investment per vehicle in order to achieve high productivity levels. What's the answer? Yes. It's simply option B is the correct answer. See option B. Yes, the need to store extra components not required for immediate use. Seventh one. Which of the following statements is supported by information stated in the passage? Japanese and United States automakers differ in their approach to production process. Japanese automakers have perfected the use of single function equipment. Japanese automakers invest more capital per employee than do United States automakers. United States owned factories abroad have higher production levels than do Japanese owned plants in the United States. Yes, Japanese automakers have benefited from the cultural heritage of their workers. What is the correct answer here? Hmm. Yes, it is option A. Japanese and United States automakers differ in their approach to production process. Okay, that was the conclusion. Okay, and the last question of this passage: with which of the following predictive statement regarding Japanese automakers would the author most likely agree? Yes, what's the answer? See the options. The efficiency, yes, the efficiency. Yes, the efficiency levels of the Japanese automakers will decline if they become less flexible in their approach to production. Japanese automakers' productivity levels double during the late 90s. United States automakers will originate new production processes before Japanese automakers do. Japanese automakers will hire fewer workers than will United States automakers because each worker is required to perform several jobs. Japanese automakers will spend less on equipment repairs than will United States automakers because Japanese equipment can be easily altered. So what's the answer? Five options. Go for the correct answer. With which of the following predictive statement regarding Japanese automakers would the author most likely agree? Yes, it's simply Option A is the correct answer. The efficiency levels of the Japanese automakers will decline if they become less flexible in their approach to production. Okay, and that was the last question of this first passage. So we just completed first passage. Yes, and okay, it was an easy passage. Now let's see the second passage. Please read the this is second passage. Please read the first paragraph. Okay, yes, just read the first paragraph. Just read the first paragraph. Yes, just read the first paragraph of the second passage. Okay. Yes. Yes. That's a that's a very short paragraph. Yes. Just read it. Historians sometimes forget that history is continually being made and experienced before it is studied. Okay, interpreted and read. These latter activities have their own history, of course, which may impinge in unexpected ways on public events. It is difficult to predict when new past will overturn established historical interpretations and change the course of history. Okay, yes, so we just completed the first paragraph. Read the second paragraph. Yes, just read the second paragraph. Just read the second paragraph. Actually, it's a very easy paragraph, easy passage. Yes. Let's read it. Yes. Have you completed? Okay, let's read. In the fall of 1954, for example, Van Woodward delivered a lecture series at the University of Virginia, which challenged the prevailing dogma concerning the history, continuity, and uniformity of racial segregation in the concerning the history. Okay, oh sorry, segregation in the South. Okay, yes. So he argued that the Jim Crow laws of the late 19th and early 20th centuries not only codified traditional practice but also, yes, but also were a determined effort to erase the considerable progress made by black people during and after Reconstruction in the 1870s. Okay, the revisionist view of Jim Crow legislation grew in part from the research that Woodward had done for the NAACP legal campaign during its preparation for Brown v. Board of Education. The Supreme Court had issued its ruling in this epochal desegregation case a few months before Woodward's lectures. Okay, and last paragraph. Please read the last paragraph. It's a bit lengthy as compared to the previous one. Okay, just read. Oh, yes. Yes, just read the passage. Okay. Okay. Just read it. Yes. Yes. Okay. So have you completed reading? So is the passage, but the last paragraph is a little lengthier compared to the previous one. Okay. Yes. Just read it. Actually, it's a very easy passage. Okay. Yes. Okay. The lectures were soon published as a book. Okay, the lectures were soon published as a book. The Strange Career, yes, The Strange Career of G. Group. 10 years later, in a preface to the second revised edition, Woodward confessed with ironic modesty that the first edition had begun to suffer under some of the that, handicaps that might, yes, um, be expected in a history of the American Revolution published in 1776. That was a bit like hearing Thomas Paine apologize for the timing of his pamphlet Common Sense, which had a comparable impact. Although Common Sense also had a comparable, yes, a comparable, although Common Sense also had a mass readership, Paine had, yes, Paine had intended to reach and inspire. He was not a historian and thus was not a historian and thus not concerned. Yes, of course, not concerned, was not a historian and thus not concerned with accuracy or the dangers of historical anachronism. Yet, like Paine, Woodward had an unerring sense of the revolutionary moment and of how historical evidence could undermine the mythological tradition that was crushing the dreams of new social possibilities. And Martin Luther King Jr. testified to the profound effect of the strange career of Jim Crow, yes, of Jim Crow on the civil rights movement, yes, by praising the book and quoting it frequently. Okay, we just completed reading the whole passage. Okay, so now let's see the questions. The new powers mentioned in line 6 can be best be described as the dash. 5 options are there. Occurrence of events extremely similar to past events, history of the activities of studying, interpreting, and reading new historical writing, change in people's understanding of the past due to more recent historical writing, overturning of established historical interpretations by politically motivated politicians, difficulty of predicting when a given historical interpretation will be overturned. So, what's the answer? Yes. What's the answer? It is option C. Change in people's understanding of the past due to more recent historical. Second one, it can be inferred from the passage that the privilege dogma held that dash. Let's see. First of all, let's see the options. Jim Crow laws were passed to give legal status to well-established discriminatory practices in the South. Jim Crow laws were passed to establish order and uniformity in the discriminatory practices of different southern states. Jim Crow laws were passed to erase the social gains that black people had achieved since Reconstruction. The continuity of racial segregation in the South was disrupted by passage of Jim Crow laws. The Jim Crow laws of the late 19th and early 20th centuries were passed to reverse the effect of earlier Jim Crow laws. So 5 options. What's the correct answer for this? Let us see the word privilege dogma. Ah, yes. See, University of Virginia, which challenge the privilege. Okay, prevailing dogma concerning the history, continuity, and uniformity of racial segregation in the South. It's clearly given. So, what's the answer? Yes, what's the answer? It's option D. Option D is the correct answer. D. The continuity of racial segregation in the South was disrupted by passage of Jim Crow laws. The Jim Crow laws of the late night. That's the correct answer. And the third one. Which of the following is the best example of writing that is likely to be subject to the kinds of handicaps referred to in line 27? Yes. Okay. Let's see the options. A history of an auto manufacturing plant written by an employee during an auto buying room. A critic of a statewide school desegregation plan written by an elementary school teacher in that state. A newspaper article assessing the historical importance of a United States president written shortly after the president has taken office. A scientific paper describing the benefits of a certain surgical technique written by the surgeon who developed the technique. Diary entries narrating the events of a battle written by a soldier who participated in the battle. Okay. Third question, 5 options. What's answer? Yes, example of writing that is likely to be subject to the kinds of handicaps. It's the option. It's option See, a newspaper article is just like a newspaper article asserting the historical importance of a United States president written shortly after the president has taken office. Okay, fourth one. The passage suggests that Van Reward and Thomas Paine were similar in all of the following ways except one another. Find it. Okay, let's read the options. Both had works published in the midst of important historical events. Both wrote works that enjoyed widespread popularity. Both exhibited an understanding of the relevance of historical evidence to contemporary issues. The sorry, the works of both had a significant effect on events following their publications. Both were able to set aside worries about historical anachronism in order to reach and inspire. What's the answer? Yes. Yes, what's the answer? Hmm? Which is the answer? Check the answer. Think about all the possibilities. Yes. Yes. What's the answer? Yes. Yes. What's the answer? It's very easy. So think about all the options and go find the correct answer. Yes. What's the answer? Both had works published in the midst of important historical events. Okay, that's okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes. It is option E. Both were able to. That's not correct. Other all options are okay, but that's not correct. Okay, both were able to set aside worries about historical anarchism in order to reach and inspire. That's the correct answer. Okay. Is that okay? Fifth one. The attitude of the author of the passage towards the work of Van Woodward is best described as one of dash. Yes, what's the attitude? Yes. Okay, so what's the attitude? Okay, what's the answer? Respectful regard, qualified approbation, implied skepticism, pointed criticism, and fervent advocacy. What's the answer? Yes, it is option. Yes, it is option B. Qualified approbation. Okay, and the last question. Which of the following best describes the new idea expressed by Van Woodward in his University of Virginia lectures in 1954? Southern racial segregation was continuous and uniform. Black people made considerable progress only after Reconstruction. Jim Crow legislation was conventional in nature. Jim Crow laws did not go as far as in codifying traditional practice as they might have. Jim Crow laws did much more than merely reinforce a tradition of segregation. What's the answer? Yes. Among this, which is the correct answer? What's the answer? It's option. Yes, it's option C. Sorry, E. E is the correct answer. Jim Crow laws did much more than merely reinforce the tradition of segregation. Okay, so today in this session we just completed. Yes. Okay. Yes, we just completed two passages. Tomorrow we can see the next one. Okay, so it's time to wind up a session, today's session. Yes, and before winding up, let me remind you about Plus and Iconic subscription. If you haven't purchased, do purchase today itself. We have different plans. And see, this is my coupon code Reeba 10. So if you apply this coupon code, you will get 10% discount. Okay. And for Iconic subscription also, you have different plans. If you Reeba 10 RWB 10. So if you apply with my coupon code, you will get 10% discount. And for this also, yes, I will report and win that area also. Yes, uh, most of our educators are taking videos. Yes, many education videos, you can see many educational videos. And if you find any inappropriate content in any of your videos, then there's an opportunity for you to report it. Okay, the form is in the description box. Do check the description box for the form, and if your claim is correct and you're the first one to report that issue, you will get a prize. Okay, so that's all. It's time to wind up a session. Okay, so before winding up, if you haven't subscribed our channel, do subscribe our channel, and while subscribing you can see a bell icon like this, and if you click on that bell icon you will get notifications whenever we post a video, whenever we upload a video. So if you like this video, do like, and if you have any doubts, do comment, and do share this video to your friends too. Okay, so that's all. Let's see you tomorrow. So take care. Bye bye and thank you. Let's see tomorrow with another session. Okay.